Chapter 38, please.
Chapter 38, please. As soon as the product is made, you already set the price. You've set the price for the product. Now it has to be sold, yes or no? So you need to create a location that is convenient for customers to buy your product. That is where place comes in. Do you understand what place is now?
Yeah.
Place is the location where customers will be able to buy our products. Is it clear? Mm-hmm. Let's go down, please. Yeah, what is the place? Are you there? Place is one of the 4 P's in the marketing mix. It refers to the location where people can buy products, etc. If businesses cannot get products in the right place at the right time, they are not likely to be successful. So, getting the right location is not just it's not the only important thing. You have to get it to that location at the right time. If not, customers would have come and they couldn't find yours, they start buying from consumers or from competitors.
Yeah.
You get the point here. Getting the right place, selling the product at the right place at the right time. If products are not available in convenient locations, consumers may not have the time to search for them. For example, if motorway service stations were located 2 or 3 miles from the motorway, they may struggle to survive. Also, food producers in many countries would have limited sales if they did not make groceries available in supermarkets. It's just putting the right products in the right position at convenience of customers. That is the point we're talking about then. Now, products getting to the customers, it has to pass through different channels. This is what we call the channel of distribution. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So the route taken by a product from the producer to the final consumer, the user of the product, is called the channel of distribution. Any questions about that? So businesses can choose from a number of different distribution channels. Some of the main ones used for consumers' goods are, look at what we have here. We have the producers. We have, so it could go from the producers to the consumers, through the retailer to the consumer. So look at the diagram here. The product is produced. As soon as it is being produced, it will get to the consumers through retailers alone. It will get to the consumers through the wholesaler to the retailer to the consumer. It will get to the consumer through just the wholesaler. It will get to the consumer through agents, retailer, and consumers. And the final one is it could be from the producer to the agent and to the consumer. Any question about that?
No.
So now let's take it one at a time. Retailing. We're talking about retailing. These are for the retailers. Who are the retailers? They buy with the aim of selling in bits to consumers. They buy with the aim of selling in bits to the consumers. Are you with me? So here it said, these are businesses that buy goods from manufacturers or other suppliers and sell them straight to consumers. Retailers provide manufacturers and other sellers with some key services. Like 1, they buy large quantities from manufacturers and wholesalers and sell small quantities to customers. We call it bulk breaking. They break the bulk. So retailers do what? They break the bulk. Why do they break the bulk? Because they sell in bits to consumers. You have any question about that?
No.
They sell in locations that are convenient to consumers. So all the shops you have available in your area, the shops in your area, the supermarkets in your area, the groceries, they are all retailers. So they are there for your own convenience. So you don't have to go so far away to get your stuffs. Do you get the second point there? We're talking about the importance of retailing here, which is the same as the importance of retailers, which is the same as the advantages of having retailers. Clear, right?
Yeah.
The third point. They may add value to products by providing other services. This might include help with packaging, delivery, repair services, information about products, guarantees, and gift wrapping. So they add value. When you talk about added value, these are things that businesses do that makes their products to be sold at a higher price. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
So for the retailers, when they break the bulk, they might repackage it to make it look attractive to customers. Whenever you have issues about whatever you buy, you don't go to Premier, you don't go to Turkey where the product is coming from. You could easily go to your supermarket and seek for information because they offer personal services. Yes or no? So all these things they do are part of adding value to the product. So retailers do add value to the product. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Any question up to now? So move on. Businesses can choose from among a wide range of different retailers when selling their products. The main features of some common retailers are the independents. These tend to be relatively small outlets, although there are exceptions. Examples include news agents, general stores, the greengrocers, delicatessens, and specialists, such as those selling bicycles, jewelry, or toys. Many are owned by sole traders, and many may be found in a variety of locations, such as on high streets, in shopping centers or malls, in small villages and in towns. Independents, they are small, they are sole traders. They have a business, but it's not their own business. They buy products of other businesses to sell. You get the point?
Yeah.
Then we go to supermarkets. We know supermarkets, right? Supermarkets are usually large stores selling up to 20,000 product line, including groceries, fresh food, greeting cards, clothes, electrical goods, books, and household goods. They are usually cheaper than independents selling the same sorts of product because they can afford to buy in bulk from manufacturers. So the difference between supermarkets and independents are this. For the supermarkets, because they sell large quantities and they sell varieties of products, they operate on a larger scale, unlike independent retailers that sell just bits. So they can enjoy economies of scale, while independent retailers might not be able. So because they can buy in bulk, they enjoy what we call bulk purchasing economies of scale. They have discounts on whatever they buy. So that is why most of the time, the prices of their products are cheaper than independents. So just like when you go to Aruba to buy, it might be a bit cheaper than buying in the shop closer to you.
Yeah.
Do you get the point? The third one, department stores. These are large stores split into distinct selling departments, such as menswear, nightwear, cosmetics, food, gifts, and children's clothing. They usually aim to provide good quality product with high level of customer service. So for the department stores, they are shops too, but they've separated those shops into different departments, selling electronics, selling phone accessories, and it's a big store, but they've divided it into selling different products. That's why we call them departmental stores. They are still retailers because they sell it big to customers. Do we get it?
Yeah.
They'll go to multiples or chain stores. We call them chain stores or multiple stores. One approach to retailing is to develop a chain of stores. This is where one owner opens multiple stores, selling the same range of goods in many different locations. Each store in the chain will look very much the same and be under the control of central office. Stores will usually have a standardized product range, pricing strategy, store front, store layout, staff uniform, staff training, wages, and conditions for work. So for chain store, they sell different kinds of products, but they sell almost the same products, but from different brands. Do you get the point? So your brand can be there, his brand can be there, any business brand can be there. But when you see it, you know, no, it looks like a company already. So it's different from having a departmental store or an independent store. They are different because here they are just like companies. So chain stores may specialize in all sorts of product lines such as menswear and this, okay? They bulk buy direct from manufacturers, so their cost of sales are low. However, their ranges of goods are often limited and staff may be poorly motivated because they are not usually given incentives. So the problem about multiple stores is that sometimes those that work with them, they do almost the same thing every now and then. They don't have, it's not like there is job enlargement or job enrichment to their job. It's just the same thing they do every now and then. They meet the same customers every now and then. So they get bored and they get demotivated. Do you understand? It's different from like a departmental store that you could be in electronics this week, you could be in phone accessories next week. So the problem, do you get the point I'm making here, please? Yeah. Are you here? Do we get the point or not?
Yes.
We're talking about the problems workers do face in multi-chain stores or chain stores. They sell the same products. They don't have, they meet virtually the same customers every now and then, and their routine is the same. So this gets them demotivated. Superstore and hypermarkets. These are very large stores, usually located on the outskirts of towns and selling a wide range of goods under one roof. They sometimes feel like giant warehouse when moving around inside. Hypermarkets offer an approach to shopping without any non-essential services. Goods are not likely to be displayed attractively. There are likely to be fewer staff to help out, and they tend to lack atmosphere. However, they are generally cheaper than supermarkets and have wider product range. The hypermarkets, I think you know hypermarkets, you have different things sold there. Things are not packaged. You can meet them on the ground, wherever, but it's a giant warehouse. What? Yes, that's a good example. There are few here too in Tripoli. There are few. So when you go there, it's not like you will see branded products. Tripoli Mall. Like the Tripoli Mall. Where's Tripoli Mall? I've not been there. I've not been there. But then you don't have branded products. It's just like you are seeing a warehouse that different collection of products are.
There are a lot of these kinds of.
We call them hypermarkets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are lots. So whatever you find there, you might find. Whatever you're looking for, you might find it there. They call them hypermarket or superstores. Clear, right?
Yeah.
We have the kiosks and street vendors. The kiosk is a small shop that can be even in your street. You know kiosks, right? Where they sell the cigarettes, small kiosks like this. Those are what we call kiosks. So they said these are very small outlets selling a limited range of goods. They may be found in airports, at bus and train stations, in street and the cinema. You should know what a kiosk is now. A small outlet like that it's movable. You can take it from here, you can lift it to other places. They sell recharge cards, they sell
candies.
Yes, they are kiosks, they are movable. They are also retailers. Then we have the market traders, the markets. Inside the market, you go to Islami, you go to all these markets, they have stores there. They are all retailers too. Is it clear? Then we have the online retailers. You know online retailers, right? Like Amazon, Alibaba, they are all retailers. Any question about that? Then we go to e-commerce. When we talk about e-commerce, e-commerce is a platform that allows buyers and sellers to have interaction, to transact. That is e-commerce. You get it? So here we said the most important new trend in distribution in recent years is probably the development of online distribution. It's often called e-commerce or e-tailing, because it involves the use of electronic systems to sell goods and services. So it's e-commerce, it's a platform. E-commerce is not internet, it's a platform where people can buy and sell via the internet. Clear, right? Then we go to business to consumers.
Is it like dropshipping?
Like what?
Dropshipping.
Dropshipping. What about dropshipping?
It's like you buy the products online, but you don't have the products with you, and you sell them without receiving the product. You buy them and sell them online.
You buy and sell immediately.
Yeah, you take the profit.
It's electronic, so it's still e-commerce. It's still e-commerce, in as much as the transaction is done electronically. E-commerce. All right, so we go to business to consumers. It said business to consumers is the selling of goods and services by businesses to consumers. So it is B2C. Here, the product is basically for consumers. So this product is bought and to be consumed. It's not to be resold. That's why I call it B2C. Is that clear? So examples of B2C: tickets for air, rail, and coach travel, tickets for sports events, holiday, wide range of goods on eBay, agents of broker intermediary that brings together buyers and sellers, financial services such as banking and insurance. All these are consumer consumptions. They are consumption. Do you get the point we're making here? We're talking about examples of B2C. So they made the examples. Now go to business to business, B2B. This involves businesses selling to other businesses online. So here, It's a business that is buying B2B.
E-commerce.
E-commerce, yeah, electronic, yeah, it's always online. So we have B2B. B2B is like some businesses buying, some businesses selling to other businesses, like what you just explained now. Dropshipping, yeah, it's B2B.
Actually, you don't buy the products. You take them on credit and you sell them. You take the profit for yourself, and then
You act as an agent.
yeah.
Or the people order from the website,
I just speak English, please.
or the people ordering from your website, then you order from other.
Take care.
That's
Yeah, it's still B2B. It's still B2B. So we go to benefits to consumers, okay? So let's go down. Benefits to consumers of online distribution. One, it's cheaper because online retailers often have lower costs. Yeah, they don't need a shop, so they don't pay they don't pay rent, so they might have less cost. So that makes their product to be cheaper. Consumers can shop 24 hours, that's 24/7. There's generally a huge amount of choice. So you have choices to make online, a lot of choices you can make. And why is it so much? You're going to make those choices at your own convenience. It's not like when you're in the supermarket or in the store that even walking alone to choose becomes difficult. But here you're sitting down to just click on the button and continue to click and click and click until you're tired of clicking. So that's convenience. People can shop from anywhere if they have access to the internet. So these are the advantages of using shopping online. You can do it anywhere. You can be here and shop from China. That's the point. So what are the benefits to business of online distribution? E-tailers may not have to meet the cost of operating stores. So for businesses, they don't have to pay for stores, warehouse, that they have to keep their products. Two, lower startup costs. Both fixed and variable costs are lower. So the amount they spend starting up the business is not that high for them. That's an advantage. Less paper is needed for documents such as invoices and receipts. You don't need a lot of papers. Click, you buy, you get the information. Everything is on the laptop. It's systematic. So you don't need a lot of paperwork. Payment can be made and received online using credit cards or online payment system. So you don't need to hold cash. It's cashless. B2C businesses can offer goods to a much wider market, for example, global. So they can sell to, like I'm here and I'm buying from China. So that means businesses in China could sell to Libya, they could sell to Nigeria, they could sell to anywhere before. So that means you have access to a wider range of customers. That's the point. They can work 24 hours. They can serve their customers 24 hours, which is good. That's good customer service. Businesses have more choice when locating their operations. So they can locate anywhere. Is it clear? Any question about that? Despite the advantages to both consumers and businesses of online distribution, there are some problems. What are these problems? Number one, businesses will face increasing competition since selling online is relatively cheap method of distribution and can be organized from any location in the world. Consequently, businesses will face more competition from overseas. It is online. That means you are exposed to competitors. So because anybody could start back with such business, you're going to have increasing competitors every now and then. Competition will increase every now and then. And that might make you to lose customers. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
That's the first problem. The second problem is that there's lack of human contact. So there's the physical presence of interaction between you and someone. So that might hinder the rapport, hinder the relationship between the customer and the business.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Yes. There's also heavy dependence on delivery services where retailers often lack control on the quality of delivery. So to deliver the product, the business is going to, maybe you are paying for the delivery or whatever it is. The business does not have authority over how the product is being delivered. They will package it well, yes, but they're giving it out to logistic. So whatever happens in transit, they don't have power over it. That's the point.
Yeah.
And that could hinder their relationship with the customer too. Because if I get my product in bad condition, I won't talk about the logistics. I'm going to talk about the business itself.
Yeah.
Do you get the point we're talking about here? There may be technical problems online. For example, website may crash, the site may be affected by malware and internet connection can go down. So there could be online problem, there could be internet problem. You might be transacting and having conversation, then the internet runs off. So this could break the rapport between you and the business. There's a security risk as computer hackers might gain access to sensitive information. Hackers. They might hack your accounts, and that's bad. Customers may experience poor after-sales services. Now the product is with you. It might be difficult to keep up. Consumers might find it, businesses might find it difficult to keep up with their customers because they have wide range of customers. So after sales might be difficult for them to capture up with. You get the point? They've sold to wide range of customers. Customers from China, from Russia, from wherever it is. So to keep up with what happens with your product after buying might be difficult for them to do. Getting feedbacks and replying feedbacks might be so difficult to, might be so demanding for businesses to do. So they don't, after sales services are difficult. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Customers without internet access and credit cards may be excluded. So those that don't have internet access, don't have credit card might find it difficult to buy products online. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fake traders may be more difficult to identify online. If you don't know if they are hackers, they are scammers, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Clear, right?
Yes.
Any question about it?
No.
Other distribution methods, direct selling. Some producers market their products directly to consumers. That is direct selling. It's a method of promotion too. So you take your product straight to those you think that buy, those you think that can buy it. That's what we call direct selling. Do you get the point? You manufacture your product is available. You are the one canvassing customers to buy. You're going straight to them to buy. That's what we call direct selling. Clear? Wholesaling. Some producers use wholesalers to help distribute goods. Wholesalers usually buy from manufacturers and sell to retailers. Some wholesalers are called cash and carry stores. This is because customers can come to the store, buy goods and pay cash and take goods away with them. Wholesalers will break bulk, repack goods, we distribute smaller quantities, store goods, and provide delivery services. A wholesaler stocks goods produced by many manufacturers. Therefore, retailers get to select a wide range of products. So for wholesalers, just like those in Crimea, they are wholesalers. They deliver to supermarkets across Tripoli.
Yeah.
From Crimea, they do that. They repackage the product sometimes. They offer you different services. So they are wholesalers. They sell to consumers and they sell to retailers too. Do you get it? But most of the time, they sell in bulk. Do you get it? They sell in bulk to retailers. The retailers are going to break the bulk to sell in bits to consumers. Do you get it?
Yeah.
And products from them are cheaper because they buy it directly from the producers.
Yeah.
And they're buying large quantities. So they're going to have economies of scale there for purchasing. Is it clear? They'll go to agents or brokers. The role of agents or brokers is to link buyers and sellers. So who are the agents? Agents are the middleman between the buyer and the seller. Do you get it? They broker the relationship. They link you together, the buyers and the sellers. So the buyer is the consumer, the seller is the producer. So you're not going to see the producer, but they're going to represent the producer. That's why they are brokers. Are you with me, please?
Yeah.
So they are used in a variety of markets. For example, travel agents sell holiday and flights, holiday companies, airlines and tour operators, estate agents. These are agents that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So they represent the business, but they sell directly to consumers. Choosing appropriate distribution channel, right there. The nature of the product, that's the first thing you need to think. When you are choosing the appropriate channel of distribution, you have to think about this factors. The first one is the nature of the product. Different types of products will require different distribution channels. Some examples are given below. Most services are sold directly to consumers. It will not be appropriate for window cleaners, gardeners, or hairdressers, for example, to use intermediaries Yes. How will a barber use an intermediary? You need to barb her, so you have to see the customer immediately.
Yeah.
You don't need an intermediary. You don't need an agent for that. You don't need a retailer or a wholesaler for that. Do you get it? A window cleaner. You go directly to the house you want to clean. You get the point? Fast-moving consumer goods, such as breakfast cereals, confectionery, crisps, and toilet paper cannot be sold directly by manufacturers to consumers because it's little. So manufacturers cannot sell it little by little. They have to sell in bulk to those that can break the bulk. You get it? So we're talking about the nature of the product, determining the right channel of distribution, the appropriate channel of distribution. So if the product is product that has to be break in bulk, that needs bulk breaking, then manufacturers cannot sell it because it will mean that they need to invite a lot of customers to their offices.
Yeah.
So they have to sell those products to retailers. But if it's a product like which we just talked about, like confectioneries, like the barbing salon, the hairdresser, these clean personal services. So this you can do it directly with the consumer. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Businesses producing high quality exclusive products such as perfume and designer clothes will choose their outlets very carefully. The image of their product is important. So they are not likely to use supermarkets, for example. They sell branded, their brands is important to them. So they will choose the channel of distribution they want to use appropriately. Because if they sell, they need to sell in a place that befits their brands. Do you get the point? They have a brand, they have a name. So if they want to sell their products, they have to sell it in a location that befits their reputation or their brand.
Yeah.
That's the point there. So products need explanation or demonstration. So products that need explanation and demonstration, it has to be physically sold. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
Any question about that? So the next factor we put into consideration when we are thinking about the appropriate distribution channel is the cost, the amount we have to spend. So here we said businesses will choose the cheapest distribution channel. That's important because you have to reduce your cost. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So part of reducing your cost is to choose the cheapest channel of distribution. I think that point is clear. Is it clear, please?
Yes.
The third point, the market. Producers selling to mass market are likely to use intermediaries. In contrast, businesses targeting smaller markets are more likely to target customers directly. So we are selling in the mass market. That means you have large numbers of customers appealing. That means it's appealing to large numbers of customers. So in that situation, you have to sell through the intermediaries. Or if you are selling maybe in a niche market, if you are selling in a niche market, maybe you have or a market segment that you can sell directly to some certain customers.
Yeah.
But if you are selling in a mass market, you have to use intermediaries. That is the point. Clear?
Yeah.
So that's market. Then we go to control. For some producer, it is important to have complete control over distribution. So if the product you sell, you feel you need to have complete control over them, that means you have to sell them directly to the customers. Because if you are selling through intermediaries, then you don't have full control over it. That is the point. Do we get it or not? So move on.
Question.
Okay, question. Okay. So the first question says, which of the following is a service provided by retailers? Retailers. Bulk breaking. Thank you. Question 2. Which of the following is a feature of a chain store?
B.
No. A chain store. Chain store, multiple
D.
chain store.
D.
No, D. They offer standardized product range. I told you guys that a chain store is more like a company. So whatever you see, they are standardized. They have standards.
Yeah.
So that's how it's D. Question 3. Door-to-door selling is an example of which type of selling? Door-to-door, direct selling. Thank you. And the last point there. Which of the following is a benefit to consumers for e-tailing or e-commerce?
C.
You check very well. Check very well.
B.
B, thank you. Consumers can shop from any location if they have access to the internet. That's the benefit of e-commerce or e-tailing. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.